Welcome to Map Your Mind. Travel through the world with your brain. Brazil, a vast land of endless forest, roaring rivers, and sun-kissed coast, is a country where nature, culture, and history collide in breathtaking ways. It is a land of contrast, from the vibrant cities pulsing with music and life to the remote Amazon rainforest, where time seems to stand still. Long before the Europeans arrived, Brazil was home to countless indigenous peoples. Groups like the Tupi, Guarani, and Tapuia thrived along rivers and forests and across the plains, cultivating crops, hunting, fishing, and weaving rich spiritual and cultural traditions. These communities were deeply connected to the land, understanding the rhythms of the seasons, the animals, and the forest in ways that modern science still studies and admires. In 1500, the Portuguese navigator Pedro Álvares Cabral arrived, claiming Brazil for Portugal. Colonization transformed the landscape and society. Sugarcane plantations spread along the coast, driven by the labor of enslaved Africans, who were brought to the Americas under brutal conditions. The fusion of indigenous, African, and European cultures created the roots of modern Brazilian identity, shaping language, religion, cuisine, music, and art. The colonial period saw economic booms and struggles. Gold, diamonds, and coffee fueled the empire, but wealth was concentrated and inequality persisted. Cities like Salvador, Rio de Janeiro, and Sao Paulo grew as ports, centers of trade, and cultural melting pots. Brazil's fight for independence began in the early 19th century. In 1822, Prince Pedro declared Brazil's independence from Portugal, proclaiming himself Emperor Pedro I. The country became a monarchy, unique in the Americas, navigating internal conflicts, regional differences, and the complexities of a diverse population. Slavery remained central to Brazil's economy, but resistance and abolition movements grew. In 1888, Brazil became the last country in the Americas to abolish slavery, ending centuries of oppression but leaving deep social scars and legacies that continued to influence society. The 20th century brought modernization, urbanization, and political change. From the Vargas era to the military dictatorship of 1964 to 1985, Brazil experienced economic growth alongside periods of repression and social inequality. Democracy returned and Brazil began a journey toward balancing development, social justice, and environmental preservation. Brazil's cultural richness is unparalleled. Music, from samba to bossa nova to funk, carries history and identity, bringing communities together in joy and protest alike. Carnival, with its parades, costumes, and rhythms, is a living testament to creativity, resistance, and celebration of life. Cuisine blends indigenous, African, and European influences. Feijoada, acarajé, and pão de queijo tell stories of survival, adaptation, and flavor. The Amazon rainforest, often called the lungs of the earth, covers millions of square kilometers. It is home to countless species of flora and fauna, many still undiscovered, and provides critical resources for both local communities and the global climate. The rivers, from the mighty Amazon to the São Francisco, shape settlement, trade, and culture for centuries, sustaining life and inspiring myth and legend. Brazil's urban centers are dynamic, vibrant, and complex. Sao Paulo is a city of industry, commerce, and culture, while Rio de Janeiro dazzles with natural beauty, beaches, and iconic landmarks like Christ the Redeemer. Even in bustling cities, traces of indigenous heritage, colonial history, and African influence remain visible in architecture, festivals, and community life. Brazil faces challenges: deforestation, inequality, and political struggles, but its people continue to adapt, innovate, and resist. From grassroots environmental activism to cutting-edge technology and cultural expression, Brazilians embody resilience and creativity in the face of adversity. Fun fact: the Amazon River, the largest by discharge volume in the world, flows over 6,400 kilometers and is home to pink river dolphins, piranhas, and countless species that exist nowhere else on Earth. Every corner of Brazil tells a story of survival, fusion, and ambition. It is a land where history, nature, and human spirit intertwine, creating a living narrative of triumph, struggle, and creativity. Where will your mind travel next?